What if we told you that restaurant you just ordered delivery from wasn't really there? The Hustle, Monday, January 23rd, 2017. Brought to you by Warby Parker. New York City restaurants are ghosting us. It's Thursday night in Manhattan, and you're craving a Cobb salad. So you open up Grubhub, check your options, and end up choosing Leafage, a salad shop near Grand Central. Here's what you might not realize, though. That salad shop doesn't exist, at least outside of the internet. See, Leafage is just one of the ghost restaurants created by the company at Green Summit, each with its own unique menu and branding, all operating out of the same kitchen in New York. How does that work? Green Summit employs around 50 chefs between two commissary kitchens in New York City to whip up entrees side by side for each of its 8 virtual restaurants, including Leafage, salads and juices, Butcher Block, sandwiches, and Maya Blue, Mexican. The company's delivery-only model, outsourced via Seamless and Grubhub, allows them to leverage economies of scale across their brands by producing food en masse by category and shared ingredients rather than as one-off orders. And, without brick and mortar, they can fail fast and rebound faster. For example, when Green Summit scrapped a Middle Eastern concept, after lower than expected sales, it only cost them about $25,000 to pivot since they didn't have to fire staff or buy their way out of a lease. This ability to fail and switch strategies quickly means they can adapt current menu offerings to keep up with new dining trends, like poke bowls, so hot right now, instead of wasting time and money during turnover. Outsourcing delivery is smart too. From the end user's perspective, ordering food on a smartphone is a piece of cake. Chicken fried rice? Boom. Click. Send. Wait 30 minutes. But it's not that simple. In fact, delivering food and doing it well is extremely hard, particularly in big cities like NYC, where order volume is through the roof. It's expensive, too. Just look at companies like Munchery and Maple, both of whom opted to run delivery in-house and have since struggled to get their margins under control. In 2016, Maple lost $16 million of its $40 million in revenues to operating costs. So kudos, Green Summit. Way to stick to your strengths. Now, if you could send over 4 juices, 2 garden salads, just kidding. We'll take 3 burritos and the biggest sandwich you have. Social media. Monday equals cheat day. The kind of good, the bad, and the ugly. Samsung, United, and Yahoo. One had a kind of good weekend, one had a bad weekend, and one had an ugly one. Let's break it down. The kind of good. Samsung finally explained themselves. This morning, Samsung released the findings of its internal investigation into exactly what went wrong with the Galaxy Note 7. Conclusion? Faulty batteries. More specifically, both battery types that were used in the phones malfunctioned, one due to a design issue and the other due to a manufacturing problem. Samsung also announced a new 8-point battery safety check for future phones to ensure that this never happens again. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys getting to the bottom of this. Still, it's been almost 4 months since a replacement Galaxy Note 7 blew up on a freaking airplane, and you're just now providing answers. Kind of seems like you're sweeping this under the rug rather than genuinely apologizing. The bad, United needs a new IT guy. On Sunday, a computer outage forced United Airlines to ground all domestic flights for about 2 hours. In other words, the company who I entrust with my life at 40,000 feet every Thanksgiving and Christmas was having connectivity issues. Makes me feel great. Sadly, these bizarre issues aren't all that uncommon in the airline industry. Last year alone, a power outage at Delta's HQ shut down its computer systems worldwide, and Southwest had to cancel thousands of flights due to a router failure. Ugly. Yahoo just can't stay out of the news. For all the wrong reasons. According to reports, the internet giant is currently under investigation by the SEC for failing to report its massive data breaches to investors sooner. Not a huge deal, and nothing groundbreaking has yet to be discovered, or likely will be. However, Yahoo just seems utterly incapable of avoiding negative headlines, and it's just sad at this point. Social media. Eastwood's finest film. IndieGoGo wants to rise above the crowd. According to IndieGoGo, its users have raised over $1.4 million of equity backing since the website launched equity crowdfunding 2 months ago. Now, its CEO, David Mandelbrot, wants to make it the most attractive platform for entrepreneurs, which is good because until recently we probably couldn't have told you how it differed from all the other crowdfunders out there. The crowdfunding space is already starting to get a little populous. Sure, we could go into the minutia of different platforms. Kickstarter is all or nothing. GoFundMe lets you keep what you raise even if you didn't hit your goal. CrowdRise is for nonprofits, but the point is there's a lot of them. Even in the equity crowdfunding space, there are multiple established players like AngelList, EquityNet, and Seed Invest. Big update on that below. All doing variations of the same thing. In fact, the $1.4 million of equity raised on IndieGoGo represents just 7% of the $20 million in equity raised across the platforms over the same period. So what's their special sauce? Mandelbrot says IndieGoGo will differentiate itself from the other platforms by helping young companies not just raise money, but also help them with manufacturing, design, and retail, living up to its tagline, from concept to marketing with crowdfunding. They also launched their enterprise program last year to allow established companies like GE to market new test products and engage a target audience. We're not sure if this is enough to blow the competition out of the water, but with the World Bank already predicting crowdfunding investments to reach $96 billion in 2025, even a sliver of that pie could be a huge win. Social media, kind of craving pie right now. This just in. Sprint acquires a stake in Tidal. Sprint just announced that it bought a 33% stake in Tidal and plans on making the streaming service available in all 45 million of its mobile users. Tidal and its artists will make exclusive content that will be available to current and new Sprint customers, the company said. If all goes according to plan, this kind of deal could benefit both sides greatly, growing Tidal's user base to better compete with Apple Music and Spotify, while allowing Sprint to differentiate itself from competing carriers and get more paying customers. How much did they pay? That's yet to be disclosed. However, there are still rumors and benchmarks to consider. For example, Music Business Worldwide reports that Sprint paid $200 million, valuing Tidal itself at $600 million. On the other hand, Tidal was valued at just $250 million when Jay-Z relaunched the service in 2015, which would make Sprint's stake worth just $82.5 million. So let's just assume that Sprint paid a price somewhere in the middle for now. Cool? Cool. Social media. Cool. Monday Morning Review. Update on our round of funding. Last Monday, we announced that we had just raised a round of funding from a handful of Silicon Valley investors, and we're allowing you, our reader, to join as an investor. We launched the campaign expecting to raise $150,000 in 90 days, but we were way off. You totally blew us away. The entire round was funded in less than 3 days. Nearly $300,000 was raised, completely blowing us away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My takeaway: I'll write a detailed blog post for those who are interested in the process. Follow our Instagram to see when it's ready. But because many of you are young shot callers at your companies, I want to tell you my biggest takeaway from all this, in the hopes that it helps you make some decisions this week. When the market is full of bullshit, like the news industry is today, then there's always room for a high-quality product, especially in today's world, where we've all grown up with the internet. Hacks and tricks simply won't cut it. Or, as someone smarter than me once said, the only way to circumvent young people's bullshit detector today is by not bullshitting. This campaign was proof of that. Long live the hustle, and long live all of you. Sam, CEO of The Hustle. This edition of The Hustle was brought to you by Warby Parker, the story of Timmy Dodge. It was 2007, on the eve of the much-anticipated iPhone launch, and Timmy had just gotten a hot investment tip, an email with the subject line, buy Apple stocks. So off he went to Macy's to buy some new fruit-inspired footwear. See, Timmy wasn't wearing his glasses. He hadn't since 9th grade, when Jeremy Palmer told him he looked like Neo from The Matrix, not in a cool way. Now it's 2017, Timmy's stuck with 1,000 pairs of Apple socks and still lives in his parents' basement. Don't be like Timmy. Make good choices, people. Warby Parker lets you pick 5 different glasses frames from their website to try before you buy, and sends them free of charge. No eye doctor breathing over your shoulder, no pushy salesperson, no Jerry Palmer making mean Keanu comparisons. Find the perfect pair, send them all back, also free, and they'll send you the winners outfitted with your prescription. Starting at just $95, Warby Parker glasses are anti-scratch, anti-glare, and made from premium, futuristic-sounding materials like ultra-lightweight titanium and custom-designed cellulose acetate. That way you can feel cool like Neo, but look like Brad Pitt. In your face, Jerry. The Hustle. Subscribe, jobs, advertise, ambassador, invents. Kendall, Tuesday's a cheat day too. Baker, writer. Lindsay Quinn, the ideal cream to coffee ratio. John Havel, backseat editor. Arlene Menu, staff nutritionist. You opted in by signing up, entering a giveaway, or through divine intervention. 1381 9th Avenue, San Francisco, California, 94122. In the United States, 415-506-7210. Never want to hear from us again? Break our hearts and unsubscribe.